Are there signs of life in the crypto market? Is the bear thinking about going into hibernation so the bull can run once again? Or is this upturn just another head fake? We'll take a look at the latest news in the Bitcoin and blockchain world to make sense of it all, and we're going to do it while dealing with the fact that there are less than 7 weeks of shopping days until Christmas. May this coming season find us saying ho, ho, ho instead of oh, no, no, no on our bad news, episode number 698 of the Bad Crypto Podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition.
Who's bad?
Are you crypto curious? Are you crypto serious, or somewhere crypto in between us? It doesn't matter. You're in the right place because you are in the Republic of Bad Cryptopia with Sir Lord Joel and Sir Lord Travis, your guides, your what are some of the things we call ourselves? I just went blank. Metaverse morons, Web3 weenies.
There we go.
Blockchain blockheads. That's it. It's episode.
I think the best if we were in Australia would be, hey, we're the crypto cunts.
Oh my
What we'd
god.
say if we were in Australia, but we're not in Australia, so we're not going to say that.
That's like, in America, that is in America, that is such a strong word, right? People, that is like one of the most disgusting things you can call somebody. In Australia,
you go over to the UK or you go to Australia, and that's like their favorite word.
Yeah, they're all that.
Good. I love it when they go, "You're a good cunt." Like, wow, thanks. I don't know how to take that, brother.
This episode marked with explicit rating, courtesy of Sir Lord Travis Wright.
It's good.
Man, so we have news for you guys, and I think it's time for us to get into it. Insert transition music here.
All right, looking at CoinGecko.com here, checking out in the last 7 days, Bitcoin's been up about 5%.
Yeah, we went about to 28.4. I'm not sure what set it off. The current crypto market cap here, time stamping on the 3rd of October, 12:18 p.m. EST, is $1.12 trillion. Bitcoin currently pulling back a little bit the last 24 hours, about 2.5% to 27,386. Ethereum also popped up to like 1750 and then took a sudden dive back to 1650. BNB 213, XRP 51 cents, Solana $24, Cardano 26 cents, and Dogecoin rounding out the top 10, 6 cents. By the way, you may have noticed I've quit saying stable coins that are in the top 10. 3 of them are stable coins or staked ether, and like, what's the point? Because you know what the price of those is going to be. So let's just talk about.
Just kind of ignore those, and you get a couple other ones. Polygon had a pretty decent week, but Solana had a really big week as well. So there's a couple of things that's popped up on those that we will get to as well. Was there some big winners? There's some big winners. Solana was probably one of the biggest winners. Bitcoin SV was a big winner. Thorchain, Gala also had a pretty big week. Roll Bitcoin, that I've never even heard, was the big winner this week with about 37% up. Not a lot of big losers this week, though, Joel.
Nope. Just some people that I know, but
yeah, but we're not gonna shout them out.
We're not gonna say their names, but one name we will say is John McAfee. And this news on Protos.com says that the crypto legend John McAfee's suicide has been confirmed by Spanish courts. So there you go. You can trust them, guys. They're saying that it was a suicide, even though that he said he would never be suicidal, and even though Janice has said that that he was not suicidal, they're saying that he was suicidal.
Yeah, he literally said, no, that if I hang myself a la Epstein, it will be of no fault of mine. Right?
Literally said it.
Yeah, he literally said that on October 15th, 2020. On June 2021, he was found dead. And why is it, Joel, though it's October 2023, why did it take them, 28 months for them to declare this like that?
Right.
It's kind of weird. And why does Janice never got the body or whatever? Right. There's a lot of weird stuff going on with that. I'm not so much of a conspiracy theorist around this one because there's not really much of a theory. It's they offed him. Like he had shit he was going to say, and they offed him, and they call it suicide because that's what they do.
Because that's what they do. They suicide you. So moving on, the Daily Hodl says that more than $892 million were lost in exploits involving Oracle networks. What's this story all about, Trav?
So, oracles are connecting blockchains with external data, and then it allows the smart contracts to execute certain tasks. And DeFi, it uses oracles to really grab the prices of those particular cryptos. And there's been a bunch of malicious actors that have been working on this to exploiting that with the price feeds, and they just go in and drain the platform's funds. So there's been a lot of that stuff happening, almost $900 million happening since 2020, which that's not good. I don't like that. It's not helpful.
There's crappy people out there, folks. In fact, in the last 2 weeks, I've known 2 people that are over 60 years old that have fallen prey to a phishing scheme that then led them to spending tens of thousands of dollars on phone cards because so much fear was created by the scammers that their bank accounts were all in jeopardy and that a family member might get hurt. Dude,
that happened to my mom. That happened to my mom. My mom lost about 25 grand with using phone cards, and she was so embarrassed she wouldn't even ask me about it until she had run out of funds and was like, "Hey, I need to send some money over here. Can you help me?" And I was like, "What's going on?" And then she was like, she sheepishly told me the story, and I shit you not, within 47 seconds, I found research of it that showed that it was a scam, and she did not believe me. And then I said, "Okay, well, just tell the scammer that you're dead. Tell the scam, have this be like from my brother. Hey, my mom, she's not waking up. Hey," and then his first message was, "Oh, well, maybe you can connect me to your brother. Maybe he can pay me." And I was like, do you see the zero empathy and compassion on this? Here was some dude that was hanging out in Turkey, originally from Senegal. Like, which tracked the dude, figured out who he was. And I know exactly where the dude was, and I could have gone and met him, but I was like, you know what, Mom, don't be doing this dumb shit. Like, and there's so many easy ways. There's this guy called Scammer Payback.
The guy who gets on YouTube.
Oh my God, he's so good. He goes in and finds these scammer calls. Like literally, they're trying to get you to scam. They're Apple scams, PayPal scams, Microsoft, virus scams. All of these are scams.
Here's the main thing. Tell especially those that are more vulnerable, right? If you've got your mom, your dad, your aunt, if you've got somebody that isn't quite technology savvy, the ones they're going to go after, tell them, hey, your financial institution is never going to do something like this, right? They're never going to reach out to you saying, hey, your account's in jeopardy. You're not going to get an email from them that says, click this link to fix your password. You're not going to get a text from them. If they're doing that, they're trying to steal from you. And if they ever say anything about phone cards, that is the huge red flag. And they're going to threaten you and they're going to threaten family members. If you don't do this, don't do it. Call the authorities. Don't fall.
They want Apple Cash pay cards. They want to get, the virtual credit cards, Amazon gift cards. And typically what they'll do is they'll do something where they connect, they try to connect into your computer because they're the customer service. So click this, let me get into the computer. And then what they do is a lot of times they'll show you, the $600 that we took from you. Whoops, we'll give it back to you. Oh no, I just sent you back $6,000 accidentally. BS. And they go, oh, now you owe us money. You can't. You just gave us 6,000. You just, And so they scare you into thinking that happened, and it didn't happen.
Think about this, Trav. We're given this gift of life, and it's short. It goes quickly. And, some of us live longer than others, but it's a gift no matter what. Imagine taking that gift that you've been given and using it to harm other people. Right. What a piece of human debris, like the bottom feeders, the scum of the earth.
So true. Hopefully there's retribution at the end of this life cycle before
Yeah.
the next life cycle or however it works, that they got to deal with all that stuff, and they go, oh man, I really screwed up, holy cow. And
Justice.
yeah, we shall see.
Justice. There will be justice. I believe
Maybe
that.
we move
So
the story around here because we're talking about interesting, crazy people, shit going down. Let's talk about BitBoy. Not that he's a shitty person, but just like some crazy shit has gone down. And I'm really upset right now because Joel has my Lambo. Joel has my Lambo, and I'm gonna go live stream outside of his house. Well, you need to give me back my Lambo, Joel.
look, I've got nothing against Ben. You and I have always been very friendly. We knew him before he blew up. You know, he used to do beards and Bitcoins with that other dude, and we know Justin nothing but love for you, Ben. My take has always been, and I don't know if I've said this publicly or just to you privately, that he's just asking for trouble. He's so brash in his public approach. He's touted publicly telling people to actually buy certain coins. Like, we've never done that, guys. Go through our episodes and find a time where we've ever said you should invest and buy something. We're always really clear that you need to go do your own research and don't listen to us dumbasses. Figure it out for yourself and be responsible for your money.
Part of the reason why he got so big, right? Because he's out there telling people how to do. And everybody's a genius in a bull market, right? Yeah, everybody's a genius. Like, we gotta go, oh, buy this, buy that, buy this. Oh man, look how smart we are. But the bear market comes, and it's not always roses, Joel. It's when we're seeing a little bit of that. This has got to be near the bottom of the bear market, right?
Yeah.
When this stuff is happening right now, we got to be close to it, dude. He did an insane, that 37-minute thing he did, that stream that ended with him getting arrested.
He's not BitBoy anymore. So the company that either owns or funded what he's done, the Hit Network, basically took his company. I don't know who's right or wrong, and I don't know who's telling the truth. I have no idea, because they know their story, and somewhere in between is what actually happened. But Ben feels slighted, and he went to the house of Carlos Diaz, who is somehow linked to this Hit Network, said that Diaz wanted to kill him, threatened his life, that this guy's got links with the Houston Mafia, and he went and did this stream. You could see about half of it before the cops come, and he has to put his phone down. Then it's really hard to hear. He ends up getting arrested. He is out of prison now, jail, and I guess he's starting his stream up again. And good luck to you, Ben. That's all I have to say. I harbor no ill will at all, and hope he comes out of this.
Yeah, figured out. He's been great for the crypto market, and he's taught a lot of people a lot of stuff. But I think that, if you go and look at what happened, was he was having an affair with somebody, and then he was on some drugs, and then he was acting very erratic. So hopefully, if you're on drugs and don't do live streams, bro. I mean, if that's the case, I don't know the case, what's going on, but just as a general rule, if you're on some serious drugs, don't put that shit on social media.
I'm not a big fan of people putting their private life public anyhow. That he's like, hey, your marriage is bad, you're cheating on your wife, all right, that whatever, that's your personal business. But when the cop showed up, they wanted to know if anybody else was in the car. He said he had a gun in the car, and it was anybody else in the car, and he hesitated several times. The cop kept asking him, and then he finally said his lover Cassie was in the car. I'm like, this is all drama.
What?
It's so much drama. It's like, this is like a TMZ thing or something.
But he was getting back with his wife because he was a family man. Anyways, this is all private, personal life stuff. I don't know. People like to watch a train wreck. Unfortunately, I've had enough train wrecks in crypto over the last 18 months. Joel, let's talk about something good. Here's something good. MicroStrategy bought another $147 million worth of Bitcoin, Joel.
Look at this. Now, Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy own 158,000 Bitcoin. 158,000. Let me just do, the article probably says, but
he's going to get up to 210,000 Bitcoin.
My calculator times out on the value of this. So let's see if we see what the value is here in the story. 4.68 billion is the current holdings in Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. I mean, this is either the dumbest move in corporate history or the most brilliant. And I'm going to err towards most brilliant. I think that I personally believe, not financial advice, that we're going to see higher highs on Bitcoin, and that the value of this portfolio is going to go from 4.6 billion to over 15 billion. I think that's going to happen.
Yeah. And they've done some really cool stuff within MicroStrategy. I read that. So people within MicroStrategy can earn Satoshis by doing stuff, right? And I think that, I love that idea, kind of like how we had that interview with Fountain. Listen to our podcast on Fountain, earn Satoshis. Like, that's cool. I think more and more people are going to be able to, so within their system in MicroStrategy, you can actually oh, this dude, you can dab him up. Joel just did something awesome. Boom, get him some Satoshis.
Yeah.
And so within their corporation, everybody is aware of Bitcoin, right? And they're actually using it as microtransactions within their company, which I think it's cool. I think it's it's an interesting future model of how maybe organizations are going to do this. But dude, when it's all said and done, dude, he's going to have 1% of Bitcoin.
Pretty amazing. So remember how all these past years we've been talking to how China keeps, flip-flopping. We're banning Bitcoin. We're not banning Bitcoin. We're banning mining. We're not banning mining. Well, this just came from Shanghai. Bitcoin has now gained legal recognition as a digital currency in Shanghai. It is a virtual property protected by law. So there's really no turning back from this. This, I believe, is the nozzle that opens up the spigot for Bitcoin to become more legitimate in all of China and these other countries that have said, we're not so sure if we want to let this happen here.
Well, it's interesting is there's still a blanket ban on crypto in China, right? However, Bitcoin has now been recognized as a unique and non-replicable digital asset. So
by the People's Court in China with Judge Wapner.
Yeah.
Chinese Judge Wapner.
I'm Doug Llewellyn.
Oh my gosh, I remember Doug.
No. I'm Doug Llewellyn. Dude, I love that though. Non-replicable digital asset. That's what Bitcoin is. And so it's never been replicated. Nobody can, that's huge. So let's see what that does. And I see some little rumblings and some grumblings. It looks like, while we know crypto's been up 5% over the last week, that's a nice move. I personally want Bitcoin to stay down until early November so that I could buy some more.
While Communist China is saying what we're going to recognize as currency, wimpy, limp-wristed banks in the Western world are going, no, we don't like Bitcoin. Chase UK is going to block crypto payments, saying there's fraud and scams. Well, in that case, you should totally ban the euro, because I guarantee you more money is stolen via the euro every year than via crypto.
You should maybe ban money being sent to Ukraine. So if we don't want to have any laundering or anything, we probably don't want that. So if you are a UK client of the banking giant Chase, you are no longer going to have access to off-ramp your crypto starting on October 16th, right? Now, that's the key thing is I think that what makes crypto so helpful now is because it's kind of a hybrid. You can do the on-ramp of fiat onto crypto, onto Coinbase, and then buy your cryptos. And if you want to sell it, you can take it off and you can access that fiat money when you need it. If they start taking that stuff away, like what they're doing in the UK, that's a bad thing. And so recently, Coinbase was in Washington, D.C. talking about, hey, sharing with senators about what was going on. And they created this cool little can that said, I think it said, 52 million people in America had crypto or something. And they were talking about all these jobs. And it's this is a great job creator. But, we've been talking about this for 6 years, man. If you're going to keep banning crypto and eliminating innovation or allowing people in America to access it, well, then they're just going to leave America. And so let's stop doing that dumb shit. And the UK is becoming more draconian by the day, it seems. It's weird.
Look what a spokesperson for Chase UK said in an email to customers. We're committed to helping keep our customers' money safe and secure. Lie. You're not committed to that. The money's not even there in the bank. We've seen an increase in the number of crypto scams targeting UK customers, so we've taken the decision to prevent the purchase of crypto assets on a Chase debit card or blah, blah, blah. Translated, we like our corrupt system the way it works now. And so we're not going to allow infiltrators to infiltrate, interrupt our corruptitude with an opportunity for people to be free from the system which we have enslaved them to.
Yeah,
I think that's what it said, pretty much.
Right, something on that. It said, and just wait, in a couple of months, we're going to roll out our own CBDC, the Chase Bank digital currency.
Yeah,
and
then you all you bitches are ours.
Yeah.
So this is why our next episode, number 699, is going to be super important. We've got Jameson Lopp coming back to the show to talk about the importance of holding your own keys, being your own custodian of your crypto. So make sure that you're subscribed so that when that episode comes out, that automatically comes your way and you can hear how important this is. What do we got going on here? Looks like big growth in the crypto fund world, Trav.
Yeah, so there are some discussions happening. Well, according to Bernstein, which is a big research fund, a big research team, they basically said that a lot of these funds are going to grow. These crypto funds can grow by as much as 13x, which could be huge. So also I'm looking at these things, Joel, and I know there was one billionaire, and I'm going to see if I can't find the name of the guy who said it, but he said this, is that, right now Bitcoin total value is about $500 billion or something, whatever it is. At least that's what it was at the time. And so looking at that and then looking at where it could go, he's like, dude, Bitcoin could easily 3x. If it's a commodity, you're looking at commodities and how big oil is and gold and all this. And then Bitcoin's only 500 billion. It's like, it seems to me, and it seemed to him, 3x is really easy. You're not going to 3x gold, but you might 3x Bitcoin. You might 5x Bitcoin, right? You 5x Bitcoin from 25,000 to 125,000 or something like that. That's a nice chunk. Maybe Bitcoin goes up to 250,000. Then what happens is the total market cap of it went from 500 billion to 5 trillion, right? I could see the whole crypto market cap hitting 10 trillion or close to 10 trillion during this next bull run. That's not financial advice. That's just Travis kind of looking at all the pieces and saying where it could go. But if it does, there's going to be a whole lot of wealth coming in. Or it could be that people needed to get into crypto because the global economy is taking a tank. But then again, last time the global economy took a tank, Bitcoin took the tank with it, right? It went all the way down to $3,000, so 3,800 or whatever. So it's always interesting. It's hard to prognosticate this space because it can be so volatile, and then crazy shit like SBF can happen.
Well, right? And there are forces intentionally, playing against it, and they say even a blind squirrel finds a nut from time to time. Gary Gensler, of Security Exchange Commission, said that Bitcoin is not a security. It's like, yay, he actually did something right amongst all the other overbearing, tyrannical statements that he's made against cryptocurrency and Bitcoin.
He's a tyrannical Saurus Rex.
Yeah. He is. Hey, Trav, that Taylor Swift is now dating Travis Kelce, right?
Really? I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I'm sure you had heard that.
I've heard nobody who pays attention to the NFL has heard anything about that.
I don't understand why Russia thinks that she needs to be killed over it. I don't get it. There's a story right here on Bitcoin.com. Russian banker states Swift needs to be killed. What?
Oh man!
Why?
Oh, man.
Why do they hate her so much?
That's the big financial.
Oh, it's okay. Never mind.
You need to calm down.
Okay, so let's talk about Sam Bankman-Fried.
Step on my crown. You need to calm down. My daughter loves Taylor Swift, and we're fans of the Chiefs, and so you can see she's really happy. And I said, it'd be funny because like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were both born in the year 1989. So I thought, I might get you an 89 Chiefs jersey, 89 that says Swift on the back. She goes, ha, 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 that's awesome. She's like, but you need to calm down, Dad. Let's wait until they're dating for at least 3 months before we buy a Chiefs jersey.
That's wisdom from your daughter here. So you just mentioned Sam Bankman-Fried, and you found this story here. What's he tied to now?
Well, there was some stuff going around. There was so whenever FTX, got busted, then there was some remaining crypto left in there, and then it got hacked. I don't know if you remember that. Like, oh, FTX got hacked, and then so after the global empire had collapsed, essentially, there was, I don't know, 2 or 3,000 ETH, I think at the time, was ganked, and then it had been sitting for the longest time. But what happened was this last week, it actually started moving. So 700 ETH were transferred via Thorchain. 1,200 was transferred from Railgun. Another some odd amount is sitting in another wallet. So it's for the first time that that had happened, and I guess there's 12,500 ETH still sitting in that original wallet. So who knows who drained that? I don't know, but it seems interesting when you're kind of piecing it all together and looking at it. It seemed to me that originally when it happened, it was probably an inside deal. But I don't know. I don't have any information on that other than, hey, that's moving now.
Well, the SBF trial is about to begin, and so we're going to be keeping an eye on that as well. Ending with
actually,
some,
as a cover on that, there is on CoinDesk, there is the full coverage there. I'm going to go ahead and put that into the show notes because there's the full coverage of what's going on with SBF now, all the stuff. There's a bunch of articles popping up.
Here's the story. Sam Bankman-Fried FTX trial, 5 things that you need to know. We haven't had a chance to dig into this, so you guys can go check out the show notes at badco.in/698 to see link to this stories and others. Ending on a positive note, Travis, this story on Cointelegraph says massive crypto use cases to surface by 2030, says a Coinbase executive. File this under no shit Sherlock. Like, of course it's coming. We needed a Coinbase executive to tell us that this is coming. Everybody who's seen the vision of Bitcoin and understood how blockchain technology works can see that adoption has not stopped. I don't care if the bear has been going rah, rah, rah. This is when people are building. And they're building like crazy, and all around the world. We said this 6 years ago, early on in the show, and I'll say it still today. All around the world, governments, organizations, corporations, enterprise, small business, individuals are all developing in this blockchain space. And every day there is more development that has taken place than the day before. It is a constant growth curve in this space. And it seems like it's going to be one of those slowly and then suddenly things. Right.
Well, look at it. Look at that chart right there, Joel. Halfway down that article that it says transactions on Ethereum mainnet versus transactions on layer 2s. Right. I mean, look at that. This is the bear market. So it started out. It's a map from Cointelegraph that said, like, basically in September 22, then we're looking at transactions per second. It looks like maybe 15 transactions per second were happening on the mainnet, and then about the same amount on the ETH or on the second L2s. But then you start looking like ba-boom, now it's up to almost 60 transactions per second, whereas the mainnet is pretty much staying stationary. It's not really moving up more. But look at all those like Polygon that's built on top of it, right? And you have Immutable X and some of these other ones that are built on top of Ethereum, and all these transactions that are happening, like it's trending straight up and to the right, Joel. So what does that tell us?
Tells us that it's coming, ready or not. There's no stopping it. You can't stop it.
A lot of dApps being built, a lot of things being built in the space. So it's like builders are building, and we're now. So when is the halving? It's in May, right? Or late April?
Sometime. Let me look it up while you share that thought.
Yeah, so it's like thinking about this, like we are about 7-8 months, it would seem to me, away from the halving. I don't know the exact amount, but I think T-minus 6 months. I think the grumblings that we're starting to see in Bitcoin right now are probably the beginning movers of this next bull run. Not financial advice, but just saying keep an eye on it. Me personally, when I sell my house, I'm buying some Bitcoin because I have a feeling that we're going to see past the top 69,000 it was before, probably going to hit close to 100,000, might hit a little bit more than that depending on what happens. But if this is anything like what's happened before, we're going to start seeing the run up, then it's going to be a bigger run up. And then in about November of 2025 is when we're going to start seeing maybe a pop up and then a quick pop down, like November, December of 2025. Historically, that would be when crypto starts tanking, right? In January, it has its little last hurrah before it falls off the cliff. That's what it's done 3 times before, right? So you look at when does the markets peak? It was normally in November or December of that next year, and then boom, then it does a quick 40% sell off. Something happens, but with Bitcoin's having becoming much less, only 3.125 per block mined is a much smaller reward. So how does that going to impact it all? Remains to be seen to me, Joel.
Well, my common sense says that means it's going to cost miners more to mine for the Bitcoin that they're mining. And so how does that not drive the value of Bitcoin up? And what happens if they can't afford? Remember before in the when the bear market was really bad, a lot of miners shut down mining because it wasn't profitable. And what happens? Well, the Bitcoin network is so resilient, you've got other people that just pick up the slack. Like, oh, this is a great opportunity for me to turn on, my PC and see if I can mine some Bitcoin. It's absolutely brilliant. So
speaking of mining Bitcoin, you guys are going to want to tune in again to next episode number 699 with Jameson Lopp as we cover a lot of that kind of stuff. And he is just a wealth of information. His website, lopp.net, is a huge wealth of information. Check that out before you listen to next week's episode, and then just tune into how brilliant this guy is. You're going to want to listen to his words because he has a few of them.
And after that, episode number 700 is coming your way, and Sir Lord Travis and I will revisit our thoughts from these 700 episodes, as well as thoughts from this bear market. What did we see? What did we miss? What do we wish we had done? What do we think is going to happen next? So stay tuned for all that. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for being a vital part of the Republic of Bad Cryptopia, and thanks for listening. We really appreciate it. I want you to picture both Travis and I looking you directly in the eyes at the same time. Both of us looking, like one eye is looking at me, one eye is looking at him. It's not weird. And we're both saying, we love you. And you're feeling that love. Even
do
as
your
I
best,
speak.
Marty Feldman. Look at both those.
Okay. If you guys don't know who that is, look it up and you'll enjoy that. We'll catch you next time. Until then, stay bad.
That might need to be on the thumbnail.
Marty Feldman. Oh, that would be fantastic. With a little bubble over his head saying, we love you.
Stay bad.
Who's bad?
The Bad Crypto Podcast is a production of Bad Crypto LLC. The content of the show, the videos, and the website is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. It's not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice of any kind. You shouldn't make any decisions as to finances, investing, trading, or anything else based on this information without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional financial advisor. Please understand that the trading of Bitcoins and alternative cryptocurrencies have potential risks involved. Anyone wishing to invest in any of the currencies or tokens mentioned on this podcast should first seek their own independent professional financial advisor.